One feature of PlanPlus Online Business Edition is the ability to create surveys. Now this is very handy when you want to send out a survey to, say, your customers for a customer satisfaction measurement. Creating the surveys is very simple and very easy. You go to the Tool menu, and Survey Builder is on the sub-menu. You can see I already have one training satisfaction survey here. For demonstration purposes, we'll go ahead and create another survey here. So let's name this a basic customer satisfaction survey. Now you can include a description if you want to. That basic customer satisfaction survey is pretty self-descriptive. The next two boxes, start date and end date, will let you set a time boundary on your survey. So the start date will be the date that the survey will start accepting responses, and the end date is the date that it will no longer accept responses. So if we set a start and end date, all we have to do is click on the date chooser next to the field, choose the dates that we want. In this case, we'll just choose some simple dates in May, and then our survey is set up with a start date and an end date. Now you can restrict your survey to a unique IP address. This is automatically checked, and it's actually a good idea. You may also want to redirect people to another URL when they complete the survey. All you have to do is type in the URL here, and we'll just send it to PlanPlus Online for the purposes here. And that'll redirect them. Once they hit the submit button on the survey, it'll send them to that website. Now, of course, you could also show them the survey results, and you could also have an email sent directly to you to let you know someone filled out your survey. HTML before and HTML after is for creating the header and the footer for your survey. Now these boxes are looking for HTML, so you're going to want to put HTML code in here. For now I'm going to leave these blanks because I can edit these later. Now I'm going to create a new survey. So we've created our basic customer satisfaction survey. A couple of things you'll notice that happen here. We now have a web page URL. This is the URL you're going to send to all the people you want to fill out the survey. The next thing is, you'll notice we have 4 tabs down here now. The second tab is our questions tab. This is where we add the questions for our survey. You click on the word add, and it brings up a pop-up window that will allow us to add the question to ask. So to add a question, you just type in the question to ask, of course, if there's special instructions you need to give someone to answer this question, then you need to put the instructions here. Then you need to choose what type of answer you're looking for. Are you looking for a simple short text answer? Here's a preview of the type of field that is. It creates a text box of a size 32 characters wide. Or you can choose a long text paragraph. This would be more appropriate to comments or questions or any other inputs that you'd like to address. A selection drop-down is a control just like this. It has a little arrow, you click on it and it drops down your selections. That may be appropriate for this question, but we could also do a selection radio. So you'd select one of these choices. You can see an example of how that works here. Or you could select multiple choices. In this case, for this type of question, that's not an appropriate control. We don't want to have multiple responses. We just need one response to this question. And of course, you could have them upload attachments. Basically, it's a file browse, and they can upload. Okay, so for this question, let's choose the selection radio, and we're going to go ahead and build that out and say 1, very dissatisfied. And as you can see, we now have a fairly decent 1 to 5 scale that allows them to give us an indication of how satisfied they were with their last experience. So we'll go ahead and submit this. And what you'll see is an example of the responses. Very dissatisfied, satisfied. So in this context, and just a trick of the survey trade, you generally want to lead with the answer you'd like to see versus the answer you don't want to see. So we may want to reverse these. Make that the 5th one, make this 4. and change the display sequence. Changing the display sequence is going to put them in a different order. So we can see highly satisfied comes up first. And so we have one question done, and we can go ahead and close this now that it's been submitted. And you see our question is added to the list here. Now that's going to be our first question in our survey. The second question in our survey, and this is going to be a very short, simple survey, is who was your rep? And in this case, we probably just want a text short answer because that makes sense. We're looking for a name, and size 32 should be fine for a name. So we'll just submit this. Now we have the question, who was your customer service representative? So we'll make that second. And just to finish the survey off, let's just say please add your comments. And that's not a question, that's just a statement. So we're going to use a text long paragraph here, and we'll submit that. Now we've completed our survey. We can take a look at our survey by looking at this website. And here's what our survey looks like right now. Notice it doesn't have any header or information on top or below the survey. That's because we haven't filled in any HTML before or after. But this is what a basic survey looks like. And you can see we can mark any one of these. Who was your customer service representative? And any additional comments. So it's a very simple survey to be able to create and fill out. Clicking the submit button will actually submit your results here because this is an active web page. To finish up our example here, because now you have the basics of how to create a survey, if you want to send this survey to somebody, all you have to do is copy and paste this URL right here into an email and send it to your respondent base. So you choose who you want to participate in the survey, and you send them this URL asking them to participate in the survey. Once they fill out the information, and I'll open this in a second browser so you can see what it looks like. You see here's our survey. They can fill out the survey. Of course, if I'm going to rate myself, I'm going to rate myself good. Then I submit it, and you're going to see it's going to automatically forward to the PlanPlus online site, exactly what we expected it to do. And when we go back to our system, I'm going to refresh this page, and now we can look at the stats. And you'll see that we've had one respondent. They chose number 5. How satisfied are you? They chose 5. Here's the IP address it came from, and here's the customer service rep and the raw data that they've submitted. And so this is where you would get your end results. So create the survey, take this URL, send it to the people you'd like to respond, monitor the results. That's how easy it is to create a survey.